Hello everyone, and welcome to the Friday video on Codecademy. You might be thinking, what in the world is that? Well, that's a good question. You see, just about everything that we do on a computer is based on computer code. We may not know it. We may just be aimlessly searching the internet or YouTube for a funny video. But it turns out that everything is based on computer coding. And really, there have been some people who have set up some incredible codes. For instance, this is a person named Margaret Hamilton. She worked for NASA. That is a computer code needed to get the Apollo spacecraft to the moon. That's huge. And she wrote it all by hand, line by line by line. And it got the aircraft to the moon. In that many pages of computer coding, she didn't make any mistakes. That's incredible. She was an incredible data scientist. Now, we're going to learn a little bit of coding today, and this is a graded activity, okay? But it's not graded for getting farther than, someone else or getting farther than me. I just want you to simply make an attempt to learn how to do this. We would together in class on the iPads. I think that working on a computer is actually a little bit easier. What you're going to do is you're going to go to Google and you're going to type in Codecademy. And it's going to be the first thing that pops up. Now, it's going to ask you to sign in or create an account. And you can do that very easily. And so I'm gonna type in, here you go, something random. Bob the Builder at, I gotta put in some numbers or else they're gonna think it's fake, at gmail.com. My password is password with a whole bunch of numbers. Now this is just showing you how to do what it's doing. I gotta pay for it? No, you don't. Just continue with a basic account. And you're gonna hit, I want to explore on my own. Now, these are a ton of different things that you can do on this course just for free. What I would recommend that you do is go to Introduction to HTML. Now, HTML is the language of websites. Here I am. I'm going to go back to Community Christian School website. I can click this here. Oops. And I can hit the Inspect button. And it shows me all the HTML things that Mr. Moore typed out. Mr. Moore is responsible for doing all this editing. And you see this whole website is based on HTML. And you might look at that and you say, I have no clue what any of that says. And odds are that you probably wouldn't. I mean, why would you? But every website is based on that. Here's an Abeka website because I was looking to purchase another Earth Space Science book. I go to Inspect Element, and here it is. And there's all these things, dividers, script, body, HTML, all this stuff. Well, what is it? This allows you to build your own website. Very cool. And we're going to start out Introduction to HTML. Welcome to the world of code. Last year, millions of learners from our community started HTML. Why? HTML is a skeleton of all websites. It's the first language learned by developers. If this is your first time touching code, we're excited about what you'll create. Now, yada 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 yada. I would recommend that you of course, read all of that. But here is the HTML code, and here they actually build you a website. Kind of cool. So here's your website over here, and here's the code that runs the website. And here is the website. It says in the editor, type your name between H1 and between the two H1s, and then press 1. So I'm going to type my name, Bob the Builder. Run. Hey, I have a website now that says Bob the Builder. That's pretty cool, right? Well, I'll tell you what. I did a good job. Hit next. It says HTML is composed of elements. Here's a paragraph element. You have these little alligator symbols, a greater than or less than, the opening tag, and the closing tag. And the closing tag has a slash in it. And then in between those two tags, you put your content. Okay? And then it says study, and take a look at this. Okay, I did. I've done this before. So, here's a blank website, another one. And here's what I'm going to do. So, I'm going to have a body. Then my second line of code, I'm going to have a paragraph. And here's my paragraph. Hello, physical, PHYSI, science students. This is my new website. And then I'm going to end the paragraph. And then I'm going to end the body. How about that? Take a look at my new website. That's pretty cool. And so, man, that's a pretty simple website. If you went to my website, you'd be like, wow, Mr. R, that's pretty garbage. But I'll tell you what, that is something that is the building blocks that every website designer must learn how to do. It says add the following code between your opening and closing body tags. Life is very short, and what we have to do must be done in the now. Laura or Audrey. Good quote. And we're going to run that. And hit next. Good. So, anyway, it goes on, and it allows you eventually to change the color of your code. It allows you to put headings like this. H is a heading, and then paragraph. And so here, you have the heading, and then I can add in a paragraph 2. And paragraph 1 says, hello world, this is my website with a heading. Oops, P1. There you go. So now look at that. I have a heading and a paragraph. Well, anyway, we can go farther and farther, and there's approximately 9 hours worth of interesting stuff here to do. And I said on my lesson plans, just work 15 to 20 minutes. You don't even have to get as far as I did. But on Tuesday, I want you to take a picture and send that picture to my email. And it's going to be a grade, just so I can see that you're practicing something. Now, I'm not going to be asking you on the test how to do coding. Okay? I just want you to be familiar with how it all works and really appreciate how complex computer scientists have to do their coding. I remember my first year in college, I had a roommate who was doing this, and he was getting paid $40 an hour to build this website, right? It was incredible. And I said, hey, how hard is it? Let me see your website. And his website had, see these lines, how they have like 7 lines on my website? He had like 7,000. I'm like, how long have you been working on that? He's like, weeks. I'm like, wow. He was doing the coding, the computer science coding for a website for some major company. And so he needed it to look perfect. Here, there's not even a link to the outside world here, so it's not going to be perfect. But it's better than knowing nothing. And maybe I'm hoping that some of you get interested in learning computer science. You see, it is a huge, huge field. In fact, I said that about 70% of new jobs are going to need you to learn a little bit about computers, and about 70% of jobs that are created in the field of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics require some use of computer coding. That's incredible. That means that this is going to be a new skill that the world needs to know, that not many of you really know, and not many of anybody really knows, actually, if you think about it. But anyway, hopefully you'll know a little bit more, and maybe one day if you get into college and you ever have anybody ask you, hey, have you done any computer coding work? You'd say, hey, a little bit, way back in 9th grade. So that'll be cool. Well, anyway, I'll type a little bit more of the instructions in the comment section, but this is the end of the video. Thank you.